Very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to go qualifying round number 5 for the Stinger Group A category. This will be Rice Racing for Elite Kitchens. Sean Rice driving, Faye Rice doing the navigating. So, Jace, how did your lunch break go, mate?
Mate, I had some venison stew and it was bloody delicious, so I'm feeling nice and full as a bull and ready to crack on into it.
Yeah, fantastic, mate, because we're going to run a qualifying round in each of these categories and then we're going to go into the eliminations. So we've got the qualifying 5 for the Group A and the Super Boats when we're straight into eliminations. And this is the time of the night where people start pushing. A lot of these drivers have never experienced night racing, so it is going to be very interesting. Oh, Sean Rice got off the gas there, going around the right-hander in front of the commentary box, and that is not a good way to do it, because if there's no water going through the jet unit, you do not have any steering. So Sean Rice there with a time of 56.455. So nice. That's... well, 0.02 seconds quicker than he's previously gone, so that's the right time of night. Mate.
I think we need some new cameras which actually just focus on the facial expressions of the drivers. Imagine that sometimes when you're just getting crossed up and trying to save it, there would be some hilarious facials going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some of the stuff, and we have had GoPros right up in the face of drivers in Australia, and one particular driver by the name of Peter Freckleton, he's now retired, and funnily enough, every time he went around a left corner, his tongue would stick out the left side of his mouth. Every time he went around the right corner, his tongue would hang out. He looked like Fred Bassett, the Bassett Hound out of the comics. We now go to Stewie Latham, Ryko. So James Hayden doing the navigational duties here, and had a chat to Stewie. He said the boat is fairly loose at the moment. They're not going to worry about tightening it up. So once it starts getting top speed into the sweepers, it starts getting a little loose. So he's got the hairpins sorted out nicely there. A lot of drivers have really been thinking about how they've been approaching this hairpin, because of course that is the money corner. You can win or lose a lot just there. Stewie Latham, big hesitation. He wasn't sure where he was on the track for mine.
Yeah, nice that they got that worked out though and stayed on the correct rotation, and so he's throwing it down nicely for his qualifying 5 and going through with a split of 41, so we'll be hoping that he can just pick up a few more tenths of a second for the final part of this lap that he's throwing down at the moment. Just a couple of corners to negotiate. He's round, he's good, and he's over the line in a time of 57.146.
Yeah, so he's actually gone slower than his previous best, which was a 56.3, so 0.8 of a second slower than his previous best.
Probably down to that one hesitation that cost him that amount of time.
Yep, absolutely. You wash off the boat speed, very easy to lose momentum. We're going to find times will be very interesting at this time of night. I had a chat to Bevan Muir out of Teng Tools, and I said, you like night racing? He said, mate, I worked out I can't see during the day, so not being able to see at night is going to make any difference. So we're looking for some big things from him.
I wonder how you're going to get on as well, because I saw you with some rather fruity-looking spectacles yesterday. How's your vision?
Well, that's not that good, mate, which is why I'm a commentator. Dean Reddick now, and Aaron Reddick out of New Plymouth. The rookies, they got the big orange or yellow flashing light out there. So this is the time where we really see some of the bling come to the fore, and this is where night racing is absolutely spectacular. So Dean and Aaron, given that it is their first season, will have never raced under lights before. So this will make it very interesting for each and every one of these guys and girls out there on the racetrack under lights.
Yeah, I have to say that the lighting so far looks really, really good though, doesn't it? Plenty of lights around the track, and she looks an absolute picture. Yeah,
absolutely. And look, it just brings so much more excitement to the racing, because you know, with the lights, it just brings the colours out the boat. You'll see the methanol burning out of the exhaust of some of the super boats, and well, all of a sudden, you know, your reflexes have to be that much sharper. So the sensors in these drivers and navigators are going to be heightened massively. With Dean Reddick across the line there in a 58.065. And he has in fact gone slower. So traditionally what we'll see as the lights come down, the lights go on and the natural sun goes down, that these guys and girls will go a little bit slower initially.
And fair enough as well, just have one more crack at getting that rotation sorted and adjusting the old eyesight, but then of course when it comes down to elimination time, you just can't do that.
No, it's all sudden death, so you need to really ring it and wring its neck hard. This will be Phil Dick now, and Hayden the Digby Smith out on track at the moment. And look, Phil, this will be very interesting for him because, as I said earlier, he has been, well, all over the tracks of recent times, like up on islands and up on the dirt. And, but today he's really starting to go a lot better, really wide around that hairpin, utilised the tyres that were there quite well, kept him back in the race course.
Yeah, he has been definitely using the entire track at the moment, but hey, he's making it stick and looking pretty good out there. And I guess, what will this be, his sort of first time having a crack under lights as well? Yeah,
that's right. And well, look, the one thing is once you get used to this, the better off you're going to be. So 44 at the split, down on where he needs to be, but he's creeping up on his times each and every time he goes out. So really starting to get a handle of this boat, and it's great to see 5 races in. He's starting to make some good progressions forward. So Phil Dick there with a 61.232. Phil's best time is a 60. Well, that was his best time. So Phil Dick starting to feel a lot more comfortable and confident with the package, which is a very positive move forward.
Yeah, and definitely considering that it's his first crack under the lights as well, he's got to be pretty wrapped with that. Here comes our local boy. Here comes Roscoe.
Yeah, that's it, Ross Travers, Super Mario. He's got the Super Mario moustache. So we'll make sure that our Wanganui Chronicle reporter writes that. Ross Super Mario in brackets, because he hates being called Super Mario. Yeah, that's it. So Shane Taylor's doing the navigational duties. The boat is radioactive, and Ross Travers comes in here in the top 2. So he's making his move forward. Loves his track. It is his home track. Raced here plenty of times over the years. Done a lot of testing and tuning here as well. So he'll be very confident under lights.
And he is looking really, really good so far, isn't he? That boat just sticking to the water nicely. He's getting around the bends with no problems whatsoever. And he is definitely looking very, very quick indeed. Let's have a look and see what his split's doing. It's a 38, so he's definitely on the pace at the moment as he goes around that top mouth fresh bend. And just a couple more corners to negotiate. And he is looking like he's going to post a really, really solid time indeed.
Yeah, that's a good time, 53.089. So that is Ross's quickest time, and under artificial light as well. So they'll be very happy with that run. Hey, did you know that light travels faster than sound? That's why some people appear bright until they open their mouth. True story.
Speaking from experience?
Yeah, absolutely from experience, that one. All right, this man out next will be the Joker. This is Andy Ryan, and Andy Ryan has never raced under lights in the past before, so this will be an exciting run for him and Kerry-Ann Allen as well. So, well, let's go to see how it goes, because the Joker can be random. I like the green bling inside the back of that thing.
Yeah, looking very sharp indeed, and lit up like a bit of a Christmas tree. And let's see how they get on going around this hairpin. This is the money corner.
Oh, how good was that?
Really, really wide, but at the same time, absolutely perfect. Just flew around that bend, and the Joker is probably smiling from ear to ear at the moment.
Absolutely is, and Kerry and Ellen there doing the navigational duties, just really calm in the navigator's seat as well. So through the speed is a 39, so he'll be happy with that. That sound you heard was just the hull hitting the crosswash in a weird angle, just made a little bit of a pop and a bang sound. So Andy Ryan, this Stinger hull, doing a great job. Andy Ryan, fantastic behind the wheel, and a 54.426. Andy Ryan into P2 at the moment. Andy Ryan, that's his quickest time as well by 0.2 of a second, so he'll be stoked with that.
Starting to think that these guys just don't give a rat's about the light.
Yeah, no, I think we've been talking it up for absolutely unnecessary purposes.
Yeah, they're all going way quicker.
Oh, well.
What do we know up here?
Yeah, well, that's it. We know how to turn a microphone on. Well, actually, this morning I didn't. I had to get our sound technician to show me where the on-off button was. All right, Harry Whelan's now MF King. Jason Conroy doing the navigational duties. When I spoke to Harry during the dinner break, he was suggesting that he's just got to get it right. He's had 2 rights, 2 wrong ways. So I said, well, what's Jason the navigator doing? He said, well, Jason still hasn't got his head around the track. He said, now up to you, Harry.
Fair enough, just put it all on the driver. I think that's what I'd do if I was in the navigation seat.
Yeah, but see, as a driver, you can always blame the navigator. So regardless whether it was the navigator's fault or not, it's always the navigator's fault. If the tow car breaks on the way down to the track, it's the navigator's fault. If the trailer gets a blown out tyre, it's the navigator's fault. So Harry Whelan's has gone a sub 40 seconds as well. Oh, very, very hard on the wheel there. The people on the far side of the track got a really good look at that. The Total Span crew over there had a real good look. Harry Whelan's been very aggressive. He's looking for that 2 seconds and 55.437. So Harry Whelan's looking for the 2 seconds that he needs to get to the top of the tree, and he's about 0.4 down on his best time. So chasing that elusive 2 seconds, that's when things come unstuck.
Loving the extra camera angles that we've got going on here too. You can see the boat backing off the trailer.
Yep.
It's bloody fancy around here these days,
fancy.
mate.
If we had the big screen, if it didn't get blown over, would have been great. All right, so Carl Brensel now, Hamish Murray from Tabanui. I got the genius child trying to get me bloody names wrong when the one time that I can actually pronounce a Kiwi town, he's trying to tell me otherwise. That is not playing fair there, genius child. So Carl Brensel on track with Hamish Murray. That's looking really good. These guys down a little bit on horsepower as well, wringing the neck of it. When I talked to them during that dinner break, there wasn't much more they could do. They did borrow some blades on the previous run, which gave them an extra half a second. But now it is a different game. The lights, the shine, the reflection, all sorts of things are going to come into play at this time of the night. So Carl Brensel, Hamish Murray, now coming into the finish line with a 55.888.
Those boys travelled some distance as well from Tapanui, down there in West Otago. Bit of a forestry town, Tapanui.
Oh, is that way down the bottom there?
She's, yeah, pretty close, down to the bottom. That's right, mate.
Oh, jeez. That's a fair drive.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a bad drive either. They were only 0.4 down on their previous best time. So this is Bevan Muir. This is the bloke who reckons that he can't see during the day, so but not being able to see at night shouldn't make too much difference. Bevan in his first 4 qualifying runs has been absolutely red hot, so let's hope he's going to continue that with Kendrick as the navigator. So the Team Tools machine. Oh, what Bevan Muir! Where did he get that bit of water from? There was real estate I didn't know existed that you could get a jet boat through. Bevan nailed it. The hairpin nailed that as well.
Oh, he is looking hot and on for a really good lap here. He is not concerned at all about the change of light, just getting stuck into it and getting the job done.
Yeah, look, going really positively, and Kendra Death, the navigator, only recently, the last second year, been behind the dashboard of a sprint boat and is really coming along in leaps and bounds as a navigator as well. So now Bevan Muir in the finals push for the line in this qualifying round number 5 run, and it is a 54.458. And that is 0.1 slower than his previous best. So he's always been very consistent so far here at Wanganui for round 5 of the Altherm New Zealand Jetsprints series. Our final round, ladies and gentlemen, will be down in Wanaka on the Easter weekend. And that'll be a pretty good weekend. But we've got plenty more racing coming now with Ollie Silverton and Jess Sitt. This is the Stinger Group A's. Ollie Silverton, the quickest man on the track in this category so far here today. Leading the championship by 1 point to Neil Marshall. Off the line now with Ollie Silverton.
Digging the boat in there as he goes around to negotiate that first corner. And he's just another one that's decided that he's just going to go hammer and nail and just get straight into it and not muck around about trying to get used to the light. He's just decided, you know what, bugger it, mate, I'm just going to absolutely crash the pants off this machine and see how I can get on.
Yeah, Ollie Silverton really getting on with business now. Oh, hang on a second, we've got some bright lights up here in commentary. This is getting scary. I can see you better, Jace. That's not
sorry about that.
Yeah, I know, yeah, thank you. So Ollie Silverton, oh geez, that was tight. Very, very tight. And 53.079. Nice. Oh, he's only 0.2 slower than he's been. So, still on the pace for Ollie Silverton and the team at PSP Racing with Ollie in the Group A and Sam Newdick in the Unlimited category, having a pretty good last couple of race meetings. Are very, very positive with the way things are going. So it will be Simon Gibbon now in Novus Autoglass, Paul Tomo Thompson doing the navigational duties. Qualifying 3 saw these guys spit the boat out. Sorry, that was qualifying round number 2. Jace, if you're going to sit down, mate, make sure that there is a chair underneath you.
That could have been rather embarrassing, actually.
That was going to be very, very funny. Geez, I tell you what, mate, with your big bum landing on the floor, could have rocked the commentary tower.
I know, imagine the first time St John has been called into action tonight because of my fat ass.
Yeah. Oh, Cy Gibbon, very, very wide around that first corner. We come into this part of the track pretty soon where Simon is going to go up around this hairpin where he turns right here. He's got a nemesis coming in through there. He got through it quite well that time. Now up through the Mount Crest Sweeper, and as it tightens up there we call it the nut. Now Simon, quite nice through there, very good lines through there indeed. Now, this bit of the track, he's got his head right around it. He's had a lot of trouble in there earlier in the meeting. So that side Gibbon, they're going to be wrapped with this run. Paul Thompson, 53.287.
Superb. Very nice indeed, Simon.
So, yeah, that is 0.4 quicker than their previous best time. So, well, us telling that you ladies and gentlemen up on the hill that they're going to go no good under lights, well, we've been proven to be mistaken.
And it won't be the only time tonight.
Well, no, actually what we're going to do is not admit the mistakes, and that way we can never be mistaken as far as I can see. Neil Marshall now and Michelle Reid, Eagle Automotive. I've got plenty of help in the commentary tower here, mate, to point out our mistakes. Neil Marshall in the last 2 runs wasn't overly happy with the way that the boat was set up. They tried a few changes. They've decided to go back to the setup they had at the start of the day. And, well, it seems to be looking very fast indeed. Oh, hip and shoulder the hairpin on the way out. He won't be worried about that at all. Went just a little bit too wide. always interesting that when a boat gets and hits the tyres, it's always on the navigator's side. Always.
Really starting to feel sorry for these navigators.
Neil Marshall absolutely on a flyer. Got this boat hooked up absolutely brilliantly at the moment. And now, in that run for home, now across this bottom part of the track, the time will be good. It will be a 53.098. His quickest time by 0.6, so that is very quick. So that puts Ollie Silverton at the top at the moment. We've still got Rick Burke and Elf Kill to come in the Stinger Group A category. And I'll tell you what, I went down and saw those blokes during the dinner break, and wow, they are certainly not worried about putting any weight on. The barbecue that they had going on down there could have fed half of Africa, I think.
Did you have a little snack?
Yeah, of course I did. All right, Rick Burke, Elf Kill, 222, Firewater.
This machine looks absolutely superb. It's turned out really, really nicely, and of course they'll be looking to get it done on the water as well, around that mouth fresh sweeper. Let's see how they get on coming around this all-important hairpin. Pretty damn good, Casey.
Yeah, absolutely. Got in and out of there nicely. Didn't lose too much boat momentum. Got it set up very nicely indeed. We've got a little bit close to the island just in front of commentary on the way through there at that time.
You can see these little white markers around the islands. Of course, they're just to help the drivers see that that is not where they want to go. That's the grass, so they must be pretty handy, those little white markers around there.
Yeah, they're working very well, and just a few spotted independently throughout the place really do help. As Rick Burke across the line, 54.427. Rick Burke down into 6th that time out. So that rounds out qualifying round number 5 for our Stinger Group A category. It ended like this with Ollie Silverton, Ross Travers, Neil Marshall, Simon Gibbon, Andy Ryan and Rick Burke make up the 6th, with